Soccer fans, welcome into Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, Utah for a Western Conference matchup between the San Antonio FC and the Real Monarchs. David Horsley and Southwick on the call of tonight's game. Thank you for joining in on this Easter weekend. David, an exciting matchup between these two teams and teams that are very familiar with each other. Lately, though, San Antonio has had the real run of play on the Monarchs.
Yeah, the Monarchs meet their old nemesis again, San Antonio FC. They got the best of them the last time they met, so can the Monarchs make up for that last game? Can they meet the intensity that San Antonio is going to bring from the very start of the game tonight?
San Antonio has won the last 3 matchups between these two sides, and the last 2 here in the state of Utah at Zions Bank Stadium as well at Rio Tinto. Tonight, a little bit different. Both teams slightly different from years past. The San Antonio FC has really been traditionally more defensive. This year, they have some offensive firepower, one coming on loan from the Galaxy.
Yeah, and Bradford Jameson IV is a very dynamic attacking player. What you're going to see from San Antonio tonight is they're probably going to sit back and they're going to absorb that pressure from the Monarchs, and they have guys in the attacking positions that are extremely dynamic, and they're going to try and look to counter the Monarchs because the Monarchs are going to get themselves forward and get themselves into a little trouble sometimes.
We'll take a quick commercial break and be back with starting lineups before this matchup. America First Credit Union, ensuring the financial health of local families and businesses for 80 years. Tonight's match is presented by Steward Healthcare. Steward, world-class healthcare where you live. Visit steward.org. Mountain America, start preparing for your future today with Picture Perfect savings accounts from Mountain America. They offer term deposits, youth accounts, retirement savings, and more. Visit macu.com. For banking that always puts the best team on the pitch, Zions Bank is for you.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
Kicker! I got this.
That's why I use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
Back in a beautiful look of the northwestern sky. A little bit of a storm approaching, but blue skies directly to our west currently. Let's check out the standings in the Western Conference. Monarchs in 9th there with 8 games played and 8 total points. Darren Powell's side, San Antonio FC, just below in the 12th position with 7 points. And that's really the Western Conference, but something this early you really aren't able to tell a whole ton, David. Let's check out some storylines that's going on here at Zions Bank Stadium. San Antonio has won 3 straight, like we mentioned in the pregame. San Antonio is the only team to beat the Monarchs here at Zions Bank Stadium in the regular season. One of 2 teams in total, with Reno being the other in postseason. Monarchs have scored 8 goals in their last 2 games, 5 in one and 3 in the other. So a lot of goals from the Monarch side, and seeing if they can continue that moving forward after giving up 5 last week. Let's check out the starting lineup for San Antonio.
And tonight for San Antonio FC, keep an eye on Bradford Jameson and Walter Restrepo. Those are going to be the 2 main attacking guys that San Antonio is going to look to find. And then on the flip side, when you have the Monarchs out here, it's going to be the same thing. Douglas Martinez is going to put in that work again. Can he finally get himself on that stat sheet and get some goals for himself? He's gotten a few assists recently. Can he finally find these goals? There's a few new faces in the lineup tonight, so how do the Monarchs adjust to having these new guys in the lineup? It's going to be an exciting one to watch tonight.
Another look at those skies and the beautiful Ochre Mountain Temple. LDS Temple out there just north of the stadium. Both teams almost ready to go. San Antonio FC in their all-whites, Monarchs in their classic Cobalt kits. Many fans looking for that. They're going to switch side. Monarchs are going to move from left to right across your TV screen, or from south to north. San Antonio the opposite way. David, we went through those storylines, but really there's more that meets the eye to this game. San Antonio coming off a 2-0 win over the Galaxy 2. The Monarchs coming off a thumping, a 5-1 loss last weekend in New Mexico. So both sides really feeling completely different.
Yeah, San Antonio's a team that, like you said, they're just coming off a big win. They have confidence right now. They're looking to build on that confidence against the Monarchs. And then, like you said, you have the Monarchs who came off that 5-1 loss. They're searching. They're trying to find that confidence that they had before that New Mexico game. Luckily, they're at home here, where Zion's Bank is an absolute fortress for them. So, from the first whistle, can they find that confidence that they always have here tonight?
Pretty good crowd on hand here, as it's the Easter egg extravaganza. Big Easter egg hunt inside the big box here, just behind the stadium. Lots of kids in there, scrounging around for eggs. Only one player down from Real Salt Lake this week for the Monarchs, and that's Tate Schmidt, who's inside the center circle. Real Salt Lake, with a big 3-0 victory against Cincinnati last night.
You love seeing that big win for Real Salt Lake last night. You got the Royals playing tonight. You got the Monarchs going on right now. Can the RSL organization as a whole have a completely undefeated weekend?
Out wide with Powder. Chang, who's found himself in a good run of form. Tied for the Monarchs' lead for goals this season. 3 goals, 1 assist on the season for Chang. And of one of 4 players that has made 4 or 6 starts in 6 games for the Monarchs. Brody, another one of those players that has found himself constantly in the starting 11. Big decision there from San Antonio FC. You're sitting there really sitting with that 5. Chang, as he was dropping back, that outside back on the far side, was dropping all the way back into that back line. Brody's able to keep it in. Monarchs going to try to keep possession.
And San Antonio is very wary of the Monarchs' potential to score goals at home. So, like I said at the beginning of the game, they're sitting back and they're going to look to counter the Monarchs. They currently have 5 players in that back line, so they really are trying to protect their goalie. And they're looking for that counterattack to Restrepo.
Ryden's going to rise up. He'll win the header. Gets it to the captain, Blake. Blake's going to pick up his head. He's going to try to go wide. Out to Chang. Chang defended by Green. Chang tries to get around him with a nice step over. It'll be out of play for a Monarchs throw-in.
When you take a look at San Antonio right now, they have all 11 guys behind the ball. Really, they only have 10. Restrepo's kind of working his way forward right now. It's going to be very tough to break those lines down. And when you have 10 guys behind the ball, the Monarchs have to move the ball quickly and try to break lines.
Martinez tries to keep that one in, but it'll go out for a goal kick. And Matt Cardoni last week recorded his first clean sheet of the 2019 season. San Antonio FC, 8 goals scored, 9 goals conceded on the season. Green rises up, wins the header, but it'll be out of play for a throw-in. It's going to be one of those matches that the Monarchs are really going to have to feel out the field and try to determine how to break down a back 5. San Antonio definitely looks like they're going to try to find the counterattacks.
When you have San Antonio sitting in a 5-4-1 like this, you're going to see the back 4 of the Monarchs have a lot of possession. Now, as a defender, when you have a lot of possession, you can't take your time on the ball. You got to find the outside backs quickly, or you have to find your 6 and your 8 quickly so that they can look forward to break the lines.
The ball was still moving. It looks like our center referee is going to make that one reset. Chang trying to get around Green again, who's been right in the heat of the action tonight. Week 7 here in the USL Championship, 4 minutes in. Evan Finney's going to get his first professional touch. He's making his professional debut today.
Good for Evan. Evan trained a lot with RSL last year and trained a lot with the Monarchs in the offseason, earned that contract, and now here he is earning his first start as well. So congrats to him.
Martinez, the big worker, been chasing things up top. Ball spread along the back line, going forward to Gomez. Ryden's gonna push out wide. Ryden gets there first. Fakes like he's gonna take a big whack at it, but able to recollect and find himself in a good spot. Kept in, though, by San Antonio. Powder gets in there with a big tackle, and a foul will be called.
You know, not only am I excited to see Evan Finney tonight, I'm also excited to see what Tate Schmidt can really do at that 10 spot. We saw glimpses of that in the very first Monarchs game this year, but due to the red card, he had to come out of the game, and he's finally getting himself back into the lineup here in his favorite 10 spot. So I'm going to be really excited to see kind of what he is able to do there.
Another player coming back from injury and time with the youth teams, Jordan Pena, a local product through the academy for the Monarchs. Good ball there by Moberg. Schmidt tries to get around Lang. Lang with a bad giveaway, though. Or excuse me, Barnby. Chang picks up his head, tries to play it forward. Martinez is in space. Can the Monarchs get numbers there? It's gonna stay just across the touchline. It'll be out for a goal kick.
And there's that hard work from Douglas Martinez I was talking about at the beginning of the game. That ball is a lost cause, but still, he chases it down, which later in the game, when that ball goes over the top, the center backs for San Antonio are going to have to be like, oh, is he going to chase it? Is he not going to chase it? But from chasing that one right there, the center backs are going to have to keep an eye on Martinez no matter what's going on with that ball.
Moberg does a good job to keep that one in front of him. Pena back to Ryden. Monarchs with two guys that have spent some time together in the center back position in Moberg and Ryden. Is a bad giveaway. Opportunity here, and a big shot and a goal! San Antonio able to capitalize on a Monarchs mistake, and that's an early 6-minute goal here for San Antonio.
And I said a couple minutes ago, Landon, when the defenders have the ball against a 5-4-1, you can't dwell on it, and you have to move the ball quickly. And right there, the pressure on Kalen Ryden causes the turnover. He needs to play quicker out of the back.
That's how things get started here. And not what you want to see if you're Martin Vasquez. Frustration there on the bench as this, you know, last week didn't start like this for the Monarchs. They were able to jump out to a 1-0 lead, but the end of that game was all New Mexico, and defensive mistakes provided opportunities for New Mexico, and tonight we saw that.
And this is going to be an opportunity for us to see what the Monarchs are made of. You know, they're down 1-0 early in this game. Let's see, can they pick themselves up by the bootstraps? And they have 83 minutes to go yet in this game. Let's see what they are able to do.
Goal scorer Brian Gomez. For San Antonio, 6-minute goal for them on a giveaway by the Monarchs. And a good finish there to get it past Finney. Dream start there for San Antonio. After sitting in for quite a bit of time, found themselves with an opportunity to pounce, and they pounced on that lead.
And they made the most of that. I mean, you cannot take your time on the ball, especially when there's only 3 guys putting pressure on the back line.
Restrepo leaves it for Green. Jamison tries to get it around Ryden. Martinez has to drop pretty far back to get into the action. Lang does a good job to play it back to the keeper, Cardoni. Lang was one of the goal scorers the last time these two teams matched up here at Zions Bank Stadium. Ball up over top and out wide for a throw-in. It's the first goal of the season for Gomez. And a timely goal for San Antonio FC. Blake, captain, picks up his head, tries to spray it wide. Finds Powder. Powder trying to find stuff, and it looks like there's not many options going forward with this thick back line. And now with a goal lead, that really makes this more complicated, David.
It definitely does, because now San Antonio is able to sit back a little bit more. They don't have to come out of their lines at all. When you go up a goal, you're able to sit back and just absorb that pressure. Whereas if the Monarchs go up a goal, then San Antonio has to step out because they are forced to try and score. But now they're going to sit in a bank of 5 and a bank of 4, and it's going to be very hard for the Monarchs to break those two lines down.
Brody trying to go forward. Looked like he was pushed from behind. And there'll be a foul called. A little bit far from distance, but there's a few players on this Monarch side that are capable of hitting it from this distance.
And the two players you're going to see on the ball right now are Jack Blake and Michael Chang, who both of them have hit the woodwork this year on spectacular free kicks. Now, this might be a little far out for them, but you're 9 minutes into the game. Why not take a chance, Landon?
And being a goal down, now that really puts you in a situation where you got to take advantage of opportunities, because you know set pieces might be your best opportunity with San Antonio sitting with that full back line.
Yeah, and this ball is kind of at an odd distance where it's going to be hard to play it in.
4 in the wall. Chang takes a shot up and over. Just could not get that to come down. A missed opportunity there for the Monarchs.
Michael Chang, when he goes back and watches this, is going to be very disappointed in his form. He has to get that ball up and down over the wall.
Brody wins the header, tries to get it to Hurd. Schmidt, yes, yet to find himself in tonight's match. Putting in the work, just not finding himself quite in the game so far.
He's going to sit in that area where there's going to be 4 or 5 San Antonio players, so it's going to be hard for him to get on the ball. There's going to be a lot of people in the area, and as a young player, is he able to figure out how to fix that?
Green out wide. Into Restrepo. Heavy touch, though, and Pena will clear it forward. Monarchs just look quite disconnected. Not much cohesion so far between this midfield of the Monarchs being able to connect lines. Martinez always putting in the hard work. Hurd out wide.
Now the Monarchs pick the ball off. Are they able to make the most of this counterattack with San Antonio having guys out of the lines?
Brody plays it back, trying to find Chang. No one home, though. Monarchs had an opportunity there, had numbers forward, and you could see it somewhat on the face of Martinez as he applies some pressure on Cardoni, and Cardoni plays it out.
When you have numbers forward like that, Landon, you have to go at San Antonio's back line with speed, because when you back pressure and you win the ball like that, there are players from San Antonio that are out of position. So the Monarchs need to take advantage of that the next time they find themselves in that position.
It's not a lot of pressure that San Antonio is very content letting the Monarchs come to in their own half.
I told you that the Monarchs back four is probably going to have the majority of the possession tonight.
It's where you got to have guys like Schmidt and Blake making those killer instinct passes, trying to find those holes in the defense.
And that is something that Albert Rusnak from the first team does extremely well. When he is in those positions, he finds the holes between lines, and he's able to receive the ball in the half turn and break those lines. Now, is Schmidt going to be able to do that? Is Blake going to be able to do that? We'll find out.
Finney there touched it one too many times, it looked like, and quickly had to play it out, and pressure coming on him.
Some first game nerves yet for him.
Well, when you get shot on that early, that's a tough way to start. Not that it's any fault of your own in a situation like that, trying to stop a shot from inside the 18.
Not at all. You don't want to see the first shot in your professional career be from 10 yards out in a one-on-one situation, do you?
Not one bit. Monarchs used to having someone else in goal here the last few weeks. He was up with the first team.
And that was a much-deserved call-up for David Ochoa.
Ochoa has been that consistent for the Monarchs. Really last week, though, 5 put on him. And maybe you can't give him all the blame, but at the same time, as a keeper, those goals get registered to your name.
Yeah, but he did enough in the weeks leading up to that New Mexico game where you know what kind of keeper he is.
Very quality player. First 2 weeks of the USL campaign, USL Championship campaign, was found on the USL Team of the Week. Select is the official soccer ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit selectsportamerica.com. That's selectsportamerica.com. Big challenge there from Blake, but he'll throw in for San Antonio FC. Monarchs gonna elect to go backwards, all the way back to Finney. Penn State product. Wearing the yellow kit with the all-white gloves. Good ball there. Monarchs trying to win it, ball up in the air. Schmidt gonna be called for the foul. Barnby was the one fouled there.
You need to see a little bit more of that from the Monarchs. The hard foul from Schmidt there, the hard tackle from Blake earlier. Right now, San Antonio, they've got the free run of play right now. The Monarchs have to impose their will, especially here at home. They have to let San Antonio know, hey, you might have scored early, but it's still going to be a long night for you.
It's going to be one of the things I think weighing on the Monarchs maybe, and not all these guys have played here for the Monarchs in the past couple of seasons, but this side holds the all-time 3-1-1 record against the Monarchs. They have won the last 3, and two of those last 3 being here in Utah.
San Antonio has definitely had the Monarchs number, and that kind of plays into it. Is there a little bit of a mental block against San Antonio for the Monarchs?
Arnby. You can hear Martin Vasquez barking instructions. Ball out wide. Kept in, played in the box, but the flag was up on the far side. It'll be a free kick for the Monarchs. Sixteenth minute of play. San Antonio FC with the 1-0 lead here on this Easter weekend. Moberg to Brody. And this is where some of that open space is going to be found. Get yourself at least forward into that middle third of the pitch.
When San Antonio is pressing, they're pressing in a 5-2-3. If the Monarchs are able to break that initial pressure of the 3 players, they're going to have all kinds of space to play. But the initial pressure from the San Antonio front 3 has been excellent so far, and the Monarchs haven't been able to do that.
Forcing guys like Chang and Hurd to drop deeper back.
Which, those are your wingers, and you don't want to see them back and behind the midfield line. They want to be on the San Antonio back line.
Schmidt. Play it out wide. Louisville product. Hurd finds himself into space. There's where the little gaps have to be for the Monarchs. Ball out wide to Brody. No switch on the far side, so a simple pass back to Blake.
Go on.
Pena with the rough ball. Bad giveaway for the Monarchs and an opportunity here. Ball forward, a beautiful ball. And that's going to be number 2. And Gomez. And the Monarchs are seeing visions of last week in New Mexico.
Once again, Landon, goal comes off of a bad giveaway from a Monarchs player. Monarchs have possession, bad giveaway, and San Antonio, Johnny on the spot. They're ready, they're focused. When they get their opportunities right now, they are finishing them.
Gomez with the brace tonight. So far, a rough afternoon for the Monarchs defense, as this one is just a continuation of last week, it feels.
We talked about it in pregame land in San Antonio. Big win last week. They're riding high on a lot of confidence, and it shows right now. The Monarchs, they dug themselves a hole last week, and it's carrying over right now into this week.
The challenge with this, as we already mentioned, is the deeper this hole becomes, the tougher it is going to be to break down a back 5.
Really, it's almost a back 9, Landon. You got one guy up top, then a line of 4 and a line of 5. Any players in neither of those lines, they don't have to ever step out, and it's going to be tough for the Monarchs to break them down.
Ball out wide, can't find Powder. At some point, if you're Martin Vasquez, you're going to have to shift up the way this team is trying to break down this back 5. Got to make an adjustment. I'd imagine that comes at halftime ultimately. But David, what opportunities or what What changes do the Monarchs make at this point? Do they go for it and just go all in?
Well, at this point, get to halftime with a 2-0 deficit. In sports, or especially soccer, a 2-0 lead is the worst lead to have. Whoever scores the next goal will have the momentum in this game, but will Martin have to throw somebody else up top? Because right now, that back five of San Antonio, they have all kinds of time to do whatever they want with only one guy in Douglas Martinez that's pressuring them. So do you throw another strike up there and go to a 4-4-2?
First corner of the match coming for the Monarchs. Jack Blake, the captain, will step out to take it. He's going to play it in with his right foot. Tate got a head on it. Looks like it took a deflection. It'll be a second corner for the Monarchs. Last touch on San Antonio.
And I said this a little bit ago, Landon. We are going to see what the Monarchs are really made of here. They've gone down 2-0 early in this game. Are they going to throw in the towel? Or are they going to step up and say, hey, that wasn't good enough. We need to do better.
Blake going to play this one in, trying to find the near post. Chang was there. Unable to redirect it on frame, and it'll be a goal kick for San Antonio. Lots of big stuff going on in San Antonio this evening. San Antonio and Denver are playing as well tonight. I'd like to thank all those of you tuning in from San Antonio, wherever you may be around the country listening in on ESPN+. San Antonio FC with the 2-0 lead so far in this one on a brace from Gomez in the 6th minute and the 18th minutes. Looking for their 4th consecutive win against this Monarch side. Blake, giveaway here. Ball looking out wide. Just doesn't seem to be much life from this Monarch side so far through 21 minutes.
Right now, everything is a step slow. Every pass is a yard ahead. Can they settle down? Can they pull themselves together and keep going?
Chang back to Powder. Resets to Blake. It's going to be important for this Monarch side to switch the field and see if they can try to break it down by continually moving the ball. Not just along the back line.
This is a little bit better, but Jordan Pena has to turn out of there. That's where the ball just came from. Monarchs need to move the ball quickly. Try and find San Antonio out of position.
Brody. Hurd's there. Brody's going to take space. Looking, trying to find Martinez. Behind him is the pass.
And that's what right there, that run from Andrew Brody is what it's going to take from the Monarchs. San Antonio is obviously sitting back in 2 banks of 5 and 4. So you're going to have to drive at them, and you're going to have to force a guy to step to you and then try and play into that space that he just left.
Blake to Schmidt. Sprays it wide to Ryden. Chang drops back and collects from Powder. Ball kind of in between Hurd and Brody. It'll be a giveaway for the Monarchs. Regained possession.
Excellent work from Douglas Martinez.
Blake
there.
picks up his head. Shot wide. It's going to take something like that for the Monarchs to break this back 5 down.
But when you're down 2-0, it's that kind of work from Douglas Martinez on the back pressure that's going to have to do it for the Monarchs. They're not able to break San Antonio down right now. They're going to have to pressure them, win the ball in their attacking third, and try to catch them out.
Blake's very capable of hitting it from that distance, and that's something you're going to have to see when he finds that space in between the midfield and that back line. He's got to pick up his head and let them fly.
And I want to be surprised, Landon, if he has a few more of those tonight, because of the way San Antonio's sitting. They're sitting back. They don't want to step out of that line. So Jack's going to have that time to let a few shots rip from 25, 30 yards.
Chang to Blake. Blake picks up his head. Shot just over the bar. If he could have directed that one to either side, he might have had Cardoni beat.
And there's another one. Jack picks it up. The San Antonio back five drops off just a little bit so Chang can lay that ball off to Jack, and he gets a good shot off.
Fans follow the Real Monarchs and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home of the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up at espnplus.com. It's espnplus.com. $5 subscription, one of the best I pay for out there. Gonna watch a lot of soccer.
If you like sports, that is the way to go.
Hernandez. He'll play it wide to Lang. Back to Hernandez. He's going to pick up his head, trying to play the big switch.
It's too easy for San Antonio right now, Landon. Look how that back five between the three center backs and the two center mids, they're able just to move the ball at will. Right now, the Monarchs, they have to put some pressure on them.
Schmidt is sitting a little higher with Martinez, trying to apply some of those pressure. A giveaway there from San Antonio. Brody quickly into Moberg. Hits Schmidt in the chest. Unable to do much with it. Ball inside. Guzman. Martinez going to be in a foot race there.
Finally, somebody steps to someone's back. Noah Powder right up to San Antonio's player's back. He wins that ball and almost finds Douglas Martinez in right now.
Green tries to play it up over top to find Guzman.
But what you're starting to see, Landon, is there's a lot of guys in half positions, and no one is putting good pressure on the ball. They're 5 and 6 yards away from San Antonio players, and they're able to play at will. The Monarchs, they have to, it's going to take a lot of work, but they have to get closer to the San Antonio players and put them under pressure.
Does that happen? Does that backline drop, in your opinion, because of giving up some of those goals or you know, putting themselves too high that they may give up another opportunity?
Right now, the back line, they are nervous. They don't want to go down another goal, but you're down 2-0 already. You have to take a chance. Start putting some pressure on San Antonio higher up the field and try to win that ball in better positions.
Out wide to Brody. Brody inside to Chang. Chang trying to find her, just a little off balance there. Hernandez goes forward. It's going to play it out wide. It's going to be a foot race, but its ball is going to go out for a Monarchs throw in. Monarchs really have not been like this at home here at Zions Bank Stadium ever. Just recently, yesterday in our weekly podcast, The Center Circle, we talked about this place really being typically a fortress, but this San Antonio side has really had the Monarchs number throughout the history.
You want to know what's great about this game, Landon? There's still 60 minutes to go. The Monarchs, they started slow. They went down early, but there's still plenty of time left for them to do something.
Martinez tries to keep it in, trying to get it to Chang. You got to love the work rate, though. He's still putting in everything he's got.
I am absolutely loving the work rate from Martinez, Powder, and Jack Blake so far. Now, can those three guys, can they spur on the rest of the 11 and get them going a little bit?
Armby out wide to Lang, to Jamison. On loan from the LA Galaxy to the San Antonio side. Got to face the younger side, the USL side for the Galaxy. The Galaxy 2 last week had a goal early on in that one. Yarrow and Green were really solid last week against the Galaxy 2. Both players playing well so far, and 2 of those 5 in the back line. Powder to Finney. Pena, Academy product. Plays it back to Finney. And a header won by San Antonio. Pena looked very calm and cool a couple weeks ago when we saw him tonight. Looks a little nervy again.
Well, you're a young player. You're down 2-0. You're in a critical position. You know, it's hard. It's not. He's 18 years old. he's got to step up now and play as a man. When you're at this level and you're no longer an academy product, you know?
And that's one of the hard things. Sometimes that transition is a little quicker. Sometimes it's more seamless, especially when things are going well. To have a tough game, I think that's where true measure of players come, especially young players. Can you bounce back? Can you bounce back from a bad play? Can you see something different, how it hasn't been in the past for you?
You are exactly right, and that's what I said is we're going to see what these guys are really made of tonight. Is he going to be able to bounce back after a slow start here and really prove, hey, despite us going 2-0 down, I belong in this lineup?
Flag up, and it'll be a free kick for the Monarchs.
I really like the way that Darren Powell has set his team up tonight. When they're pressing, it's a 5-2-3, and then when the Monarchs break that press, it's a 5-4-1. And the Monarchs right now, they're struggling trying to break a press of 3 guys.
Good little combination play there. Restrepo's going to play it out wide to Green. Green's going to pick up his head. Lots of numbers in the box. Brody heads it away. Not completely, though. The Monarchs have a few guys together, but not much going forward, as Martinez was quite frustrated. But there's still 4 guys for him to beat in front of him.
Right now, San Antonio is defending with 5. They have 1 sitting in front of them, and they're attacking with almost just 4 players. And the Monarchs are having trouble dealing with that right now. When the Monarchs win the ball, it's Douglas Martinez against a back 5.
Martinez, Brody trying to find him. Challenge won by San Antonio. Hurd's going to come wide. A big switch there from Lang over to Green. Monarchs just don't have the answer for this formation at this point. Guzman's brace is the first this season for San Antonio FC, and the first since October of 2018. Blake's going to go forward. Nothing with him, though. Chang. Back out to Blake. Blake looking back post to Martinez. Tries to find Schmidt. Hung up a little bit.
Now, that was better from the Monarchs there. They won the ball in the attacking third, and they went. Jack Blake wins the ball, goes at them right away, puts the San Antonio defense under pressure, and the Monarchs get a little bit of a half chance there.
Barnby plays it out wide to Lang. Lang's going forward. Lang puts one up off the signage. Darren Powell has been really efficient throughout his tenure for San Antonio FC. 43, 31, and 28 in the 4 seasons. And this season, like we mentioned, 2, 3, and 1. But looking good so far.
I actually played against Darren Powell when he was the coach at UNC Greensboro, when he was a coach at Elon, and when he was the coach at San Antonio. How about that for a stat, Landon?
Wow. You know I like my stats. Ball forward. Hurd inside. Sure, Hurd. Shot and pushed from behind. No call, though. Looked like a beautiful opportunity. Martinez down in the middle of the pitch as we'll get a replay look at this. Beautiful ball here from Chang as he waited for the defense to come towards him. Hurd made a nice run. Was able to get the shot off, but right at Cardone.
And those are the kind of runs that the Monarchs are going to need to be able to beat that back 5. It's one, like I said earlier, Chang, he attacks the defense. Center back steps out. Josh Hurd makes that run into the space that the center back just left, and Chang plays the ball in there. And the Monarchs get their first really good chance of the game landed. Can they build off of this confidence, and can they build off of this momentum into halftime?
Monarchs will play it back. Martinez is back up. Get updates and alerts, or excuse me, be sure to tune in to Wednesday, April 30th at 7 p.m. for the USL game of the week on ESPN3, featuring new expansion side Memphis FC versus the visiting two-time defending USL Cup champion Louisville City FC. It's the week's best match. That's April 30th on ESPN3. Blake, wide to Brody. Brody, a nice little touch there. So a slight adjustment from the Monarchs as Chang is now sitting in that 10 position. Schmidt playing out wide. This was one of those things that I wondered if was possible. Chang looked good in the 10. The last time we saw him in the middle of the park, found himself scoring a brace.
Right now, it's been really tough for Michael Chang to find the ball in this formation. So you push him into the middle, and now can your best, most dynamic player, can he find more of the ball? Can he make things happen now for the Monarchs in the middle of the field?
Powder, back to Ryden. Monarchs look like they're slowly adjusting, trying to see if they can put some more into in the attack. So we'll see if that continues to stay that way.
And we talked about them switching to a 4-4-2. Now they have 2 attacking players on that back line of 5 against San Antonio. Can they make it a little bit harder for that for the back 5 to build out of the back? And then on the flip side of that, can they put more pressure on them offensively?
Blake getting a lot of touches here in the last few. Plays it out wide to Hurd. Hurd settles. Brody made the overlap over him. Brody's going to go at the defense. Tries to find Chang. High bouncing ball. Riding with a header. All the way back to Finney. Maybe a little bit of confidence building for the Monarchs here as they're able to slowly make the tactical adjustments. As Hurd was able to find himself on the inside track of that back line.
Over the last few minutes of here, since that chance by Josh Hurd, you're seeing a little bit more pep in the step of the Monarchs players. Can they keep building on that confidence in the halftime?
Blake to Hurd. Out wide to Brody on the touchline. Brody's going to go at the defense. He'll cut in, finding Schmidt to Chang. Chang, shot deflected. Powder's going to keep it in, though. Monarchs have numbers in the box. Looking, back stick. And Lang will wisely play it out for the third corner of the match for the Monarchs.
And that's why you put Michael Chang in there. He finds that spot at the top of the box, and he gets a good shot off, but a great block by San Antonio. As we watch the replay here on the cross from Noah Powder.
Trying to find Brody. Blake will take the corner kick here in the 37th minute of play. Inside the box, everybody was there. Out to Powder. Powder's going to pick up his head. Wormburner. Hurd falls to his feet. Shot and a possible handball, but no flag up.
It's one of those instances, Landon, where it's ball to hand. His hand's not in an unnatural position, so you're not going to get a penalty call there.
That would be hard done, as we'll get a replay look at that. We have throw in for the Monarchs. Yeah, would have been hard done on Jamison.
His arm is right next to his body. There's nothing you can do about that.
Boberg. Monarchs putting a lot of pressure on San Antonio FC here in the last 5 minutes or so.
But you're starting to see a little bit of confidence here from the Monarchs. The passes are a little bit crisper. The ball's moving a little bit faster. They need to keep building on that, Landon.
And you can see the mindset of San Antonio FC. When the ball is in a position where they can clear, they're lumping it forward.
And that was their game plan to begin with. They wanted to build on that. They wanted to have that counterattack. They wanted to find Jamison. They wanted to find Restrepo. But they were able to pounce on 2 early mistakes from the Monarchs and get a 2-0 lead. And now they're sitting back a little bit more.
Quickly in for the Monarchs. Powder. Chang. It'll be a free kick for the Monarchs coming. But that's what you need of Chang. We've talked about that, trying to find that space, that killer space, either quick touches away or a nice quick turn to unlock the outside wings.
And what we just saw in the replay there is Chang sits in that space between San Antonio's midfield 4 and their back 5, and he gets the ball. Now the San Antonio back 5, they have to step up quickly, and Chang is fouled. Now the Monarchs have a free kick in a really dangerous position.
Blake, 4 in the wall. Blake takes a shot, just over the crossbar. Cardoni looked like he had it covered. Monarchs with 57% of the possession so far, and this would be expected. 5 total shots and the 1 on target.
And I think we knew that from the start of the game when we saw the formation that San Antonio was going to play. You knew the Monarchs were going to have a lot of the possession, but can they do anything with that possession, Landon?
Well, and you talked about it, the defense, the back 4 for the Monarchs was really going to be the ones that have the touches. Moberg with 32 passes so far, and the most touches on the field, Moberg and Brody. Chang tries to win it. Blake's able to settle.
And nothing against those players, but I don't think those are the players that you want having the most touches, Landon.
Not one bit. A bit of a giveaway there from Blake, but able to win it back as Jamison goes to ground. Good switch there. Looks like San Antonio is starting to try to make that adjustment to the counter, the adjustment that the Monarchs made of the numbers going forward.
Well, when the Monarchs have possession, though, San Antonio's still sitting in that 5-4-1. But now the Monarchs look better because now they have 2 guys forward, so they have more numbers in front of the ball.
Chang inside the box. Looked like it took a deflection as Kron was there. And Cardoni will collect. So you'll get a second look at this one. Darren Powell, pretty heated off the bench, speaking with the 4th official. Armby gonna lump it forward. Up over. Just on the edge of his box is Finney.
You find those problems when you have a new goalie. You're not sure, is he going to come for that? Is he going to stay? Kalen Ryan does a good job of shepherding that ball to the goalie.
There was a hesitation there for a moment. Ryden with a big body made sure he was between the man and the ball.
And as a center back, I always told myself, I'm following that ball no matter where it goes. If I take my own goalie out, then I do.
Brody to Hurd. Blake finds Schmidt. Monarchs with these simple touches. Lang has a nice hand in his jersey. Unable to keep it in. It'll be out for a goal kick.
Little gamesmanship here from San Antonio, trying to get into the half with a 2-0 lead, leaving that ball out there on the sideline. I like it, Landon. I like it from San Antonio.
You know, that's one of the things, if you're going to come into a place and bunker down without a 2-goal lead or with a 2-goal lead, you're going to rely on some of those tactics.
You're going to see slow goal kicks. You're going to see the goalie hold on to the ball. You're going to see balls. Might see 2 balls on the field at sometimes, just because San Antonio is not in a hurry to do restarts.
Martinez battling there with Yaro. Martinez has put pressure on Cardoni all night long. Ryden rises up high to win that header. Powder, nice knee trap there. Thigh trap, I'll give him a little more credit. Well done. Pena, Academy product. Out wide to another Academy product. Andrew Brody. Monarchs gonna go backwards, exactly what San Antonio FC wants to see here late in the half.
Great ball from James Moberg there to break 2 lines.
Powder inside to Chang. Chang was looking forward, trying to find the run of Powder. But that's that ball we're talking about, trying to unlock more space. Hurd inside to Martinez. Big save, Cardoni.
What a save from Cardoni there. going into halftime, you want to keep the momentum. And right there, Cardone gives it back to San Antonio.
My goodness, from point-blank range, great passing from the Monarchs. Cardone was able to do just enough to push that one wide. Fourth corner of the match coming for the Monarchs. Swung in, inside, deflected. Looks like it'll be another corner kick for the Monarchs. Fifth of the match.
In the last 15 minutes here, we've really seen a change from the Monarchs, but still not able to beat Cardone. What a night from him so far.
Blake, right-footed, swung in. Back post, Ryden rises high. Still inside the box.
Safe.
Hurd's there.
Keep going, Walter.
Finds Brody. Monarchs applying all the pressure they can, and kind of an awkward shot there from Blake. Not meaning to shoot. Put Cardone in an awkward backpedaling position, and he pushed that one up and over the bar.
Not sure Jack Blake is shooting this, but he puts the ball in a dangerous position, and when you do that, good things happen.
Everybody on the right side.
45th minute here. Sixth corner of the match. Monarchs trying to find and try to pull one back. Still inside the box. Martinez, shot, deflection. Powder's gonna play it wide to Moberg. Moberg to Schmidt. Monarchs unable to find one. Pena. Back out wide to Schmidt. Monarchs still with everybody inside the box. Stoppage time will be announced. 2 minutes here in the first half. Minimum of 2 minutes here.
Great work from the San Antonio back line there. They're under constant pressure here, and they hold and they stay strong and they keep that shutout going.
Cardone will take the reset for San Antonio. Jamison wins the header. Pena, big battle there.
Excellent work from the youngster to hold off Restrepo. Restrepo pesting him, but Pena stays strong and earns the foul.
Moberg. Schmidt gave a bad ball away there. As Restrepo was way in an offside position, but the Monarchs were kind of lackadaisical in that situation, have to quickly take care of things. I think they were waiting for that flag to pop up. Sometimes it's smarter just to go and make sure you take care of business.
Once again, a bad giveaway in the middle third from the Monarchs, and San Antonio almost finds himself in on goal again. The Monarchs, they have to take better care of this ball. They're getting themselves into trouble when they play those lazy passes.
Blake, out wide to Powder. Inside to Chang. Trying to play it out wide to Schmidt.
San Antonio right now just trying to get in the halftime with this 2-0 lead. The Monarchs have been all over them. San Antonio's waiting for this whistle right now.
Should be coming here momentarily as 2 minutes, a minimum of 2 minutes was announced. Pena, good battle there. Schmidt. Chang. Monarchs gonna try to break out wide. Blake takes one from distance, but that's half here at Zions Bank Stadium. Monarchs gonna head to the locker room trailing 2-0.
And Landon San Antonio did what we thought they were gonna do. They sat back, they pounced on bad mistakes from the Monarchs. Now we need to see the Monarchs, they need to start the second half with the same momentum that they ended this first half.
Monarchs gonna see if they can make some adjustments. One of the things that I think caught them pretty off guard was that back five. Wasn't something that either you or I saw, but let's talk about that as we come back from the break, and we'll look into what adjustments the Monarchs need to make.
We are underway in 2018 opener. It is the first ever game for Utah Royals FC. Welcome into the beautiful
Rodriguez. Shot. Saved by Meeker. Header on frame and saved by Nicole Barnhart. Big save, Ronaldo. Williams shoots and a sliding deflection out by Rachel Corsi.
Brody inside the 18. Brody shot and a goal! Andrew Brody.
Rusnak back to Plata, and he buries it. Amy away on a giveaway into the 18, wins it away from the keeper, rounds her and scores!
Monarchs have a chance. Murray shot and a goal! Claude Murray in the 91st minute of play.
The show is on! Chronic, unbelievable!
Brittany Ratcliffe
Scores! There's the goal and the winner! Savarino, Rusnak calling for the ball. There it is. What a strike! It is raining goals at the north end.
America First Credit Union, ensuring the financial health of local families and businesses for 80 years. Tonight's match is presented by Steward Healthcare. Steward, world-class healthcare where you live. Visit steward.org. Mountain America, start preparing for your future today with Picture Perfect savings accounts from Mountain America. They offer term deposits, youth accounts, retirement savings, and more. Visit macu.com. For banking that always puts the best team on the pitch, Zions Bank is for you.
Okay, people, it's Ford Truck Month. And you know what that means. The best deals on America's best-selling trucks for 42 years straight. And with over 28 million sold, isn't it time you joined the stampede?
Now get a Ford F-150 with 0 for 72 financing plus $1,000 trade assist cash, or get over $13,000 in total savings.
Welcome into the beautiful Zions Bank Stadium here in Harriman City. Brody inside the 18. Brody shot and a goal! Andrew Brody.
Blake takes the shot, and he hammered it home. Louisville wants to attack, shooting and scoring.
Saved by Caldwell.
Collier. Yes!
Collier.
Knock back towards Spencer. Brilliant finish.
Getting to play with all these fantastic players from like all over the states, and it's just really fun.
We're back here at Zions Bank Stadium at the half. Monarchs trail 2-0. Really in a game that has a lot to talk about. If we were to dig into halftime stats, the Monarchs with 14 total shots, San Antonio with the 2 total shots. But really, that's one of those numbers that doesn't really show what's happened in this game.
No, it does not, Landon. And you know, I get frustrated with stats when people put stats out there because, yes, when you look at the stat sheet, the Monarchs have dominated all of the stats. But guess what? San Antonio right now, they have the 2-0 lead. They have made the most of their chances, and the Monarchs have not.
Let's check out some scores around the USL Championship. North Carolina FC with the 1-0 halftime lead. Charleston Battery as well, up 1-0. The other game still scoreless, Louisville City FC and Ottawa. Those are the games in action so far. Monarchs, like we mentioned, down 2-0 here. San Antonio as the sun pokes through. Let's check out the USL Team of the Week. As Moar, a guy that was very familiar to this Monarch side last week. Weehan as well. Yarrow, like we talked about, had a solid game. And on the Team of the Week, Pereira from Las Vegas as well, someone the Monarchs have seen.
I have to give a shout out to AJ Cochran. I played with him in Houston. Great kid, so congrats for making Team of the Week, AJ.
Means he's old, right?
Oh, he's a young player.
I'm just kidding. Let's check out some highlights from this first half so far. Like we mentioned, Monarchs with 14 shots, San Antonio with 2, but those 2 were the ones that count and are on the scoreboard. So we get a look at some of these early ones. One of the fouls there early on. Here, the giveaway. As Guzman finds himself in, takes a shot. Looks like Finney might get some hands on it, just not able to push it completely wide as Guzman gets his first of the afternoon. Martinez up there holding up space. Brody's fouled there for the Monarchs. Free kick here for the Monarchs. Chang puts it up and over the bar. And the Monarchs have had 2 opportunities from that distance. So we'll continue to check out some more highlights. Hurd. Another ball back to Finney as he was pressured. We talked about that. Maybe some inexperience there and some learning for him as he early on still trying to feel things out. So we'll head to here to the half as Tate will be subbed off, as you're going to see that final goal there as Guzman with the brace. So Martinez and Tate, their nights will be through. Or excuse me, Martinez is still on the pitch. Tate and Hurd. So Monarchs are going to bring in Kyle Coffey and Masta Cashier. I'm going to see if they can make an adjustment. So Monarchs using 2 quick substitutions here to start that second half. Looks like no changes from Darren Powell and San Antonio FC.
And it looks like the Monarchs are going to stick with that 4-4-2 that they ended the half with. Have those 2 strikers up top to put a little bit more pressure on that San Antonio back line. It worked in the last 15 minutes. Can the Monarchs keep that momentum going here to start the second half? I said, Landon, 2-0 is the worst lead to have. So who's going to step up and get that next goal here?
Looks like the Monarchs are going to throw some more numbers forward as Cashier is going to sit really wide for the Monarchs. His boots are almost getting wet with paint. Monarchs maybe sacrificing a little bit more defensively to see if they can pull one back. Cashier is going to get the ball wide. Maybe. Green cuts it off, though.
There's a very strong wind today, Landon, so those crossfield balls, you have to hit them with a little bit of pace, a little bit of power for them to get there.
Powder. Acts like he's going to go for it, but pulls it back to Moberg. You're seeing the substitutions on the screen. 47th minute of play. Monarchs trail 2-0. Chang puts it inside the box to Cashier! And it's kept out by Cardoni, and it looked like it took just a slight deflection off the head, as you're going to see a replay look at that. Chang serving it up.
And that's a great run from Masta Cashier there. He's been staying wide this whole time, like you just said. That outside back for San Antonio falls asleep. Cashier sneaks in front of him and gets a great header on goal.
Blake plays in the corner, still inside the box, and a PK called. Moberg is down, face to the ground, yellow card shown to Hernandez. We'll have to get a replay look at that, but Hernandez obviously did something to get called for a PK and shown yellow here in the 47th minute.
And we talked about on the podcast this week, the leadership from James Moberg. He puts himself in a dangerous position here, and he takes the hard hit from Hernandez, earning the penalty kick for the Monarchs.
Oh, man. Hernandez had his arm wrapped around his neck as Chang and Blake are both up there.
Moberg had him beat, and Hernandez had his arm wrapped behind him. No idea where Moberg even was.
Looks like he might have shown a second yellow card. But we'll get confirmation on that. Chang is up at the PK spot for the Monarchs. Cardoni on his line. Chang, shot and a goal! Michael Chang with the 4th of this season. And the Monarchs are halfway back into this one.
I said that next goal is going to be the most important, and the Monarchs were able to step up. A completely different start to the half here for the Monarchs. When you see here a great finish from Chang. Gets Cardoni going down to his left, and Chang calmly plays it straight up the middle, Landon.
Quick ball played. 2 balls on the pitch, that's for sure gonna... Maybe. There was just 1 card shown in that situation. Hernandez was the only one to see yellow. He still had the card out, so it was kind of confusing as Yarrow was speaking with him. Yarrow, the 2nd overall draft pick in the 2016 MLS draft for Philadelphia. Monarchs halfway back into this one, David. You and I talked about this off air. This one was either going to go down in flames or the Monarchs were going to figure out an adjustment to make. And they came out with the foot on the gas pedal, found themselves in a good spot, and Moberg got taken down in a PK, cutting the lead of San Antonio.
The changes that Martin has made it in the second half here have worked, and whatever he said to them as well at halftime worked as well.
Yarrow tries to clear. Chang settles. Handball on Chang, called by the center referee. I don't think the AR on the far side saw it.
And there's one, Landon, where the hand, where his arm is sticking out from his body and the ball hits it. But because that hand's in an unnatural position, it is a handball. Unlike the call earlier in the game where people wanted the penalty kick, his hand is close to his body, no call. There, Chang's hand is sticking out from his body, so that is a handball.
Foul. And a free kick coming.
Not the start to the second half that San Antonio wanted. They're going to have to step it up and meet the same intensity from the Monarchs.
Arnby plays it out wide. Powder tried to win the header. Ball inside the box. Pena there. Pena with the long touch, though. Still inside the box. Opportunity, and Finney collects. Finney going to try to reset here. Plays it out to Moberg. For those of you just tuning in, Monarchs trail 2-1. Ball up over the top, trying to find Cashier. Cleared away by Yarrow.
You're seeing a little bit more pep in the step from the Monarchs right now. They're trying to take quick throws. They're taking quick set pieces. They look more lively in this half than they did in the first half.
Chang to Blake. Blake picks up his head, puts one. I don't think he caught all that one. He was trying to play it in. But like I was saying, for those of you just tuning in, San Antonio FC leads 2-1 on goals in the 6th and 18 by Gomez. Monarchs with a goal in the 47th, a PK to bring one back. Monarchs used 2 substitutions so far. San Antonio FC has still yet to use a substitution. Jamison. Restrepo finds himself on the opposite side of the Monarchs backline. It'll be a quick reset for the Monarchs. Easter weekend. I'm sure a few guys are trying to play for a few extra Cadbury eggs. Or Peeps. I don't know, whatever your fancy is. Just don't make a peep about it. Barnby. San Antonio kind of a little bit opened up from their back four, starting to stretch, or excuse me, the back five. Monarchs applying pressure, and a foul called on Cashier.
Did you see how much closer Cashier was there to be able to put the pressure on the San Antonio player? We talked about in that first half that we were kind of caught in, that the Monarchs were kind of caught in between a little bit and not getting enough pressure. Well, they've stepped it up in this second half, and they're a little bit closer to guys and getting pressure on them.
Gomez looking for the foul. Powder did a good job there to body him off the ball. Blake and the Monarchs are going to try to counter here. Out wide to Cashier. Cashier is going to go at Green. Cuts inside. Powder takes a big hit there. It'll go out for a throw-in. Center referee is going to come over and have a conversation with Darren Powell. Excuse me, with the assistant on the bench.
I'm pretty sure I got thrown out for less than that last year, Landon.
That's why I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Darren Powell having a conversation with our center referee.
They must be taking it easier on assistant coaches this year.
They only had to throw out one. Coffee. Powder keeps possession for the Monarchs. Pena. Nice pass there. Diagonal ball in to Blake. The Monarchs are going to try to find space. Martinez into Kyle Coffey. Coffey taken down from behind in the second PK of the match for the Monarchs. I don't know what Darren Powell down there, you can hear him screaming about that. That was, as you're going to see, an opportunity there. Definitely a shoulder to the back there.
I'm going to have to agree with you on Landon. I'm not sure what he is upset about here. Yes, you don't want a penalty kick called against your team, but that is a shoulder in the middle of Kyle Coffey's back.
And I would not be surprised if he is tossed from this game here momentarily.
And there it is.
Knew that was coming. There's only so much you can do to an AR. Being demonstrative is going to get you thrown out.
And I don't know if it's as much for the yelling as it is he left his coach's box, Landon. They harp so much on that about leaving the coach's box, and he did.
And the PK is scored. Jack Blake with the goal. And this one is all tied up.
Tale of two halves right now from the Monarchs.
Monarchs bring things back level, courtesy of 2 penalty kicks. With the second coming here in the 55th, as you're going to see a beautifully taken penalty kick there by Blake.
And I feel kind of bad for Matt Cardoni in this game, Landon. He has been up to task every single time, and he has made great saves, and you get 2 penalty kicks scored on you. It's a tough night. Soccer's such a cruel game sometimes.
Man alive, it is getting chippy. That could be a red card. You can't throw a head into. This has gone quite crazy. Might be throwing us out of the booth at this point.
Well, I just found out that is a possibility, Landon. We can get thrown out of this booth.
That would put you in a situation as a hard tackle from behind.
I'm pretty sure there was a UFC knee there thrown from Ekon.
Yellow card shown here in the 57th minute of play.
And he's going to be very lucky there's no VAR in the USL Championship, because he probably would have been thrown out for that flying knee.
We're all square at 2 here, Zions Bank Stadium, in a game that has kind of gone a little crazy here in the last few.
Once again, Landon, Kalen Ryan puts him in a tough spot, and he has a bad giveaway, and he has to make a last-ditch tackle there.
And another yellow card shown to Restrepo. So now it's going to be a game of who can keep their head. We've seen multiple yellow cards, 3 shown to San Antonio FC. None to the Monarchs so far. Makes a total of 15 for San Antonio FC here in the 2019 season. Head coach Darren Powell has been sent to the locker room.
San Antonio's lucky because they have a very capable assistant coach in Alan Marcina. He actually had coached San Antonio before a few years ago, and he tried to get me to come play for him, Landon.
Small world there. This game has taken a turn. San Antonio really being forced to play. As early on, they were just able to sit in and afforded the luxury of having a 2-goal lead. Gomez with the foul. We didn't get to talk about that earlier one by Ryden, and I know you mentioned it. It looked like a situation where he definitely got the ball. If you're Gomez, the tempers are high, you've got to just get up and keep going.
And Landon, I love you, man, but I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think Kalen did get the ball there. I think the ref didn't call it because it was such a long touch from Gomez, and he had no chance of ever getting to it. Now, if that touch would have been a little bit shorter, Kalen could have been looking at some trouble there.
Chang and Hernandez in a foot race. That'll cross the end line.
With the way tempers are flying right now, the Monarchs players, they have to keep their heads. They can't put themselves in bad positions or bad tackles and put the game in the referee's hands.
Billy Forbes is going to enter the match here in the 60th minute of play. He'll replace Bradford Jamison. Billy Forbes recently returned to San Antonio FC after spending time with Phoenix Rising. Coffee. Trying to find Martinez. Blake. There's going to be a lot of controversy surrounding this game. 2 PK calls. And I think anytime there's a PK called, there's quote-unquote controversy.
And that's what the implementation of VAR is supposed to take out. It's supposed to take out that controversy, but somehow it has added even more controversy to the game.
Chang flags up on the far side, though. Cardone will get the reset here in the 61st minute of play. All knotted up at 2. This game is one of those games that has really been quite all over the place, depending on which half of soccer you've watched so far. But this one is definitely not done.
Just be aware now. Be aware of anything in behind, Josh. Be aware. Move. Communicate.
Coffee. Blake tries to settle. And Hernandez is going to take the reset. Pena is going to see yellow. Silly yellow card to pick up if you're Jordan Pena. 61st minute of play, yellow card shown to Pena.
And you, in a game like this, you don't want to pick up silly yellow cards because it is getting a little chippy out there, and you don't want to pick up that second yellow card and have your team play down a man.
Green. Monarchs applying a lot of pressure. Coffee. Local boy, Syracuse, Utah. By way of the University of Washington recently. Another one of those Craig Weibel connections. We saw him up here in the booth not too long ago. Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for the Real Monarchs, then click follow to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on your home team's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow your club. Martinez. Numbers going forward for the Monarchs. Tries to play it back, stick. And pushed away.
And Lang does
Lang.
He does a great job dealing with that. He's on a full sprint towards his own goal, and that cross is played between him and his goalie. Cardone stays, but Lang is running right at him, and he just gets enough to get it up and over his own goal.
Monarchs corner kick coming. Blake here in the 63rd. Monarchs yet to capitalize on one of these set pieces. Martinez rises high, but was never going to get that one on frame as he was falling backwards. Darren Powell up here. Not too far away from us now. Cardone. Pressure coming from Martinez. Plays it, but gives it away. Brody. Blake.
You can hear Josh Yarrow trying to get his back line up, trying to close that space right now because there's so much space in that midfield, and Jordan Pena and Jack Blake right now, they are exploiting and making the most of it.
But that's one of those things when you have a game plan early on to sit in like that, it makes it really tough to push forward because you've been in that mindset to sit back a little bit.
And especially when you get that 2-0 lead as well, Landon, you just want to stay back and hold your line. But now it's 2-2. You have to start stepping out of the line and making plays so that you can win the ball to go forward. You can really see now San Antonio has a line of 5, a line of 2, and then a line of 3. They need to bring everybody back together again and kind of work together as a unit.
Blake goes back to Moberg. Monarchs still maintaining a large lion's share of the possession. Really, most of that came early on in the first half. Ball up our top. Yarrow heads it, tries to keep it in. He's going to get it out for a throw, and good job there by Yarrow to keep Martinez from having an opportunity. Blake quickly inside the box. Monarchs were trying to go quickly. Still kept in by Brody, though. Coffee. If only he knew to turn there. Cashier settles. Tries to get out wide to Powder. Pena. Gomez with the brace. Touches too long, gets out and away from him. And the Monarchs will regain possession.
Excellent patient defending there from Kalen Ryan. He lets Gomez just take one too many touches, and he takes a bad touch, and Kalen Ryan's able to pounce on that bad touch and play it back to Finney.
Flags up. Be a restart from San Antonio. Gomez back inside on the back line.
I think Kalen Ryan got a little lucky there. He has to know where Gomez is at all times. He's a dangerous player. It's a quick restart. You have to know where those dangerous players are.
Big ball there by Blake. Settled by Chang. Chang cuts in looking for Martinez. Martinez to Brody across the 6. Cashier's run was just a little bit too slow there.
And as we see the replay here, Chang plays a great ball on the Martinez. Martinez lays it off to Brody. Great ball across the face of the goal, but no Monarchs players are there to finish it. If you want to win a game, Landon, you have to put yourselves in danger spots. And right now, the Monarchs, they're not making the most of those chances in the run of play.
One of those things you'll see, and sometimes it takes guys, Cashier has really found himself heavily involved in this game. And sometimes it takes a guy, you know, a few minutes, but he really found himself involved. But that one just didn't make a quick enough run inside the box.
Yeah, and you sometimes as a winger on the opposite side, you have to take a chance that that ball's going to be played across, and he was just a step too late on that chance there.
All knotted up here in the 67th minute of play. Martinez going to be whistled for the foul. Martinez has to be careful. He's sitting on 4 yellows on the season. Leads the team. Lake with 3. So a yellow card here would mean a suspension in the next game due to yellow card accumulation.
And you know what? Forwards get away with this all the time. Not seeing the ball, just jumps at the center back. And I'm on Yarrow's side here. As a center back, forwards used to jump at me all the time, never seeing the ball. But Yarrow gets the call there, and that's the right call. Monarchs have to keep their foot on the pedal right now because the Monarchs, they can't let San Antonio back into this match. They're starting to find their footing again, but the Monarchs, they have to keep that momentum going.
This San Antonio side, I think people forget they're very capable of playing at a very quality side. So this isn't something that people need to give up on them. I know there's a lot of frustrated fans in San Antonio, but this game is playing how San Antonio wanted it to play early on, and it's kind of falling back to that here in the last few. Monarchs have changed their formation. That's thrown a wrinkle in things, and I'm sure not having Darren Powell on the side additionally throws it, so they're not able to make some of the tactical adjustments that he'd maybe want them to make.
Yeah, there was a 15-minute stretch there where kind of everything was, you know, getting a little loose for the for San Antonio. Now, can they reset and can they get ready to finish out the last 20 minutes of this game?
Gomez. Out wide to Restrepo. Attack coming. Restrepo able to just keep it in. Pena gets in front of him, and the foul will be called. It'll be a free kick for the Monarchs.
Stay high! Stay high!
Ryden will take the free kick. And a guy that we haven't seen really much of in the last, since he's entered the match, is Billy Forbes. Very capable of scoring goals.
He's one of those guys, he's extremely dynamic. He's able to score a lot of goals, Landon. But in this kind of game right now, where things, there's no rhythm at all, it's going to be tough for a guy like him. He needs to find the ball a lot. And right now, with the way the rhythm of this game is going, he's not able to find the ball, which kind of, you know, when you come into the game, you need to get into the flow. And it's been hard right now for him.
We got full-fledged Sun. Wind still blowing. Coming right across the pitch. Powder. Trying to find Pena. Still that back five from San Antonio. Monarchs still trying to see if they can break it and find the go-ahead goal. If you're San Antonio FC, how do you find yourself back in this game and truly not just sitting and trying to defend?
Well, first of all, you have to sit. That's what your game plan was. As a back five, you got to be strong. And then once you absorb that pressure, Landon, then you can counterattack. But if you're not strong defensively, then your game plan is rendered useless.
Martinez puts it back to Coffey! Goal! Kyle Coffey with his first professional goal. And the assist goes to Douglas Martinez, his third of the season, as Coffey found himself all alone inside the box.
Great work from Douglas Martinez again. He's put in so much work the last few weeks and hasn't been able to find that goal, but once again, gets a ball into a good position, finds Kyle Coffey in front of the goal, and congrats to Kyle Coffey for his first goal of the year.
Take a bow, son. First professional goal, one you'll remember forever. Monarchs lead. This one's going to be brought back because Chang wasn't quite on the opposite side of the field. Restrepo will reset. San Antonio FC still with substitutions if they'd like, 2 of them. So now they're chasing this one. Ball up over top. Flag stayed down. Restrepo with a nice run there, just not able to get on the end of that one. Monarchs have to stay cool. They want to maintain this lead after coming back from a 2-0 scoreline at the half.
So what is San Antonio going to do now? They've gone down a goal. Are they going to...
Ooh. Miscommunication there in the back.
Now that you're down a goal, Landon, you have to start stepping out of your lines, and you got to start pushing for that tying goal. I think we're going to see a little bit more life from San Antonio here going forward because they got to step out of those 2 banks. But then again, as podcasters, maybe we don't know what we're talking about, Landon.
Torres still an attacking option on the bench. Castillo as well. Could mention 2 substitutions still left for San Antonio. Ball going forward. Hernandez dispossessed.
Already, you see more life out of San Antonio. Look how many more players they have forward than what they have in the previous 70 minutes of this game.
Cacher is off to the races if someone could have seen him. Powder's going to be fouled. by Gomez. Called him Guzman a couple times. Apologize for that. A guy that would definitely be a game changer to have him here in the 18, especially in the 11 tonight.
That was a big loss for San Antonio coming into this game.
He'd even been a Monarchs killer. Chang gonna play it wide to Cashier, fresh legs. Cashier not able to get on the end of that one. Cut off nicely by the back line of San Antonio. Powder settles. Out wide from Chang, flags up. He came from an offside position to an onside position, and that was a long run for him. Pirano is going to come on in this match for Lang. And here's where you'll start to see those adjustments being made to maybe go a little more forward. Lang typically is out on that wing, has played, and tonight he's played very defensively.
He's been more of a wing back tonight. Now, if Pirano coming out, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him kind of more as a true left midfielder now for them. Or as you see, they push Barnby out to the left side, and Pirano's going to sit in the middle for San Antonio.
Good job there by San Antonio. Pirano, space in front of him. Ball inside the box. Good opportunity, though, cut off by Moberg.
And Landon, that's what you want to see from yourself, Pirano, coming in right away, making a big difference for San Antonio.
Those are those adjustments that you have to make as a coach. And if you can make those adjustments well, oh, that could have been a handball, but no call there. Hernandez. Monarchs need to find their shape. Ball in the middle of the pitch. Come wide to Green. Strepo's in front of him. A little bit more possession here from San Antonio, which is something we hadn't seen really up until this point of the game.
San Antonio, they're still sitting with their three center backs there, but now they have pushed their wing backs. They've pushed each of them a little bit higher. Now they're kind of almost as a left midfielder and a right midfielder.
Be sure to tune in on Wednesday, April 30th for the USL Championship Game of the Week on ESPN3 featuring expansion side Memphis visiting the two-time defending USL Cup champions Louisville City FC. It's the week's best match and the game of the week, April 30th on ESPN3. Ball forward, Restrepo. Forbes is on. The flag now comes up. Love to get a replay look at that one. Wasn't quite sure the flag should have been up, but it went up. So we're gonna second look at that one. Not gonna get a clear shot at the line there.
The Monarchs have to be careful here. They have to have that back four working together and in their line and not letting guys get in behind them, because dangerous situations like that will happen, especially as we go into the last 15 minutes of this game.
But one of the things you did notice there is Finney was able to stop that one and cut that one out either way. Rebound might have been a different story, but he was able to cut off the initial pass by Forbes. Gomez. Wide to Restrepo. Green. Pirano making himself a good option. He's attacked pretty well so far.
Pirano's really changed his game for San Antonio since he's come into. He's an energizer bunny. He's all over the field right now. He's making a difference. He's finding those good spots, and he's just being a pest on offense for the Monarchs.
Good little turn there. Hernandez is going to take a crack up and over the bar. '79th minute of play. 3-2 Monarchs. Monarchs with goals in the 47th, 55th and 72nd. San Antonio 6th and 18th. Here in the second half, Darren Powell sent to the showers. Monarchs, both teams have used, 2 substitutions, 1 remaining for both sides. And a game that still has 10+ minutes to see some more action. Forbes is going to try to keep it in. Played out for a throw-in. A good job not to give up the goal kick and keep it in that end for San Antonio.
San Antonio has really been all over the Monarchs here in the last 5 minutes. I would have been interested to see if San Antonio would have started the game this way, how this game would have gone. Because really, since they stepped out of that back 5, they've really taken it to the Monarchs.
And the substitution that was made bringing on Pirano really has changed the game. He's a guy that's come on, added some life, and you can credit some of that to adjusting the formation at that point. But he came on and has looked quality so far.
And when you bring a player like him on at the end of a game, he's super busy. The Monarchs, they have tired legs right now, so he's going to make even a bigger difference.
2-man wall. Monarchs going to hold their line on top of the 18th. Ball inside the box. Cleared away temporarily. Then sent out of the stadium. Here in the 81st minute of play. For those of you just tuning in, I know there's a lot of questions out there on social media about Darren Powell being sent to the showers. It was just after the PK. Second PK was called in the 54th minute. And Blake was able to confirm to tie the thing up at 2. Bloody nose there from Kalen Ryden. He'll step off the pitch. Monarchs going to play temporarily with 10 men. Vinny, the reset. High and long. Martinez battling. It's a good job to win it. Coffee out wide to Cashier.
Monarchs have to be careful right here with Kalen Ryan on the sideline right now. They are currently down a man against San Antonio. So this is a chance for San Antonio to really pounce on them and pressure them and win the ball back in a dangerous spot.
Be a free kick for the Monarchs as Chang slowly getting up. Two Monarchs, 82nd minute of play. This one still doesn't feel over. There's a lot of tension, few yellow cards in the middle of the 57th, 58th minute of play. A couple yellow cards shown. Got a little testy for a few. Finney will play it forward and out of play. Throw-in coming for San Antonio. Both sides still have substitutes up and warming up. We mentioned a pretty good crowd on hand here. There was an Easter egg extravaganza for the game. Forbes goes forward, tries to get it wide. Brody's able to cut it off. Not cleared completely, though.
And when Forbes finds the ball at his feet, those are the things he's able to do. But it's been so hard for him to get into the rhythm of this game since he's come in.
Hernandez. Forward to Gomez. Gomez with the brace. Gomez plays it in the box. Ryden rises high, not cleared completely. San Antonio putting all the pressure on the Monarchs right now. Monarchs are really starting to sit in like we saw from San Antonio early on. Attack coming. Restrepo plays it in, looking back post to Pirano. Too far.
And we talked about the way the gamesmanship from San Antonio in the first half with taking their time on goal kicks, taking their time on set pieces. Now you're going to start seeing that same thing here from the Monarchs with Evan Finney taking his time to get this ball, taking his time to get the goal kick off. Time management is so key right now, Landon.
It looks like San Antonio FC is going to make their third and final substitution here momentarily. Ball forward. Martinez in behind the defense. If he can pick up his head, he's got Cashier, but defended nicely by the back line of San Antonio, and it'll be a goal kick. Who's up, who's down? Where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL Championship Power Rankings, only on USL.com. That's the USL's Power Rankings every Monday on USLChampionship.com. Ball out wide, Restrepo. And the ball went out on the far side. So we're going to see Castillo into the match here in the next few moments. Maybe here right now. Board's yet to come up. This play resets. Right in a good step there to win that one. Lahoud, his night will be done. The captain will step off and Castillo will come on for him. Re-signed here in January by San Antonio FC. A guy that's been all over the place, playing professionally since 1996. A 38-year-old. Older players in the USL Championship. Reset from Finney. He is definitely taking all the time that he needs. Martinez giving battle there. Tries to win the throw-in. Looks like it will go for San Antonio.
And you love seeing that work out of your 9 here, especially in the 86th minute. He's chasing balls down. He's making it hard in that San Antonio defense.
Monarchs with their third and final substitution coming here momentarily as well. Forbes plays it into Pirano. Pirano with the touch. Headed forward. Cashier had his back climbed like a ladder. So he'll stay down for a second.
And once again, Landon, you're going to see the Monarchs here. They're going to go to a back 5 with Conrad Plura coming on for Michael Chang. Last time we saw the Monarchs do that, didn't go so well for them. They gave up a goal as soon as they went to that back 5. Now, have they worked out the kinks and have they figured out how they want to play with a back 5? Let's see.
Chang coming on, coming off. The Cuban scored the first goal of the match tonight, the 47th minute of play, a penalty kick. As Conrad Plua is going to come in and step along the back line right in the middle of Moberg and Ryden, it looks like. And you'll now see Martinez shift wide and Coffey play the point. Foul called there on Hernandez. 88th minute of play. Getting late in this match here at Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, Utah. Hernandez has to be careful. Already sitting on a yellow card. He picked up in the 47th minute. Blake on the reset for the Monarchs. Coffey turns. Brody. They give away as Castillo plays it out though. Crowd getting a little antsy here as the clock gets late. Ball played across. Green not able to clear completely. Cashier there inside the box. Tries to take it, falls. Subsequently cleared by San Antonio FC. Missed opportunity there for the Monarchs to put this game to bed. Pirano, beautiful touch there. A good move to get forward. Opens up Billy Forbes. Forbes defended by Powder. Forbes cuts back. Plays it across, all the way across. Gomez unable to settle cleanly. Brody was trying to make an overlapping run there.
See, it's good to attack at the end of the game here, but the Monarchs, when they attack like that, they have to make sure that they get back, because this right here is what happens. You attack, you don't score. Now, San Antonio wins the ball, quick counterattack, and you got 4 or 5 Monarchs players that are out of position, and San Antonio finds themselves in a great scoring opportunity.
Hernandez. Castillo picks up his head. Barnby, the guy that's been pulling the strings tonight for San Antonio. Out wide to Forbes. Forbes cuts in, looking up over, headed away on his first touch by Conrad Plua. Now he needs someone to stretch the field for the Monarchs. Ball forward by Martinez, but Coffey not with the speed. There to push that one far forward. Stoppage time has been announced. There will be a minimum of 4 minutes here at Zions Bank Stadium and plenty of time for things to still play out. Plua cuts that one off. Looking forward. And those balls just aren't going anywhere. Monarchs need to maintain possession in situations like that and give an opportunity to San Antonio here.
And if you're not able to keep possession, Landon, just play the ball into the corner, let your lines get up, and now you're playing in San Antonio's defensive third.
Ball's played forward. And the flag was up on the far side. We're into our 2nd minute, unofficially, here of stoppage time. David, this second half has been a wild one.
And we said it would be at halftime. We said whoever got that next goal was going to get the momentum. Monarchs, 2 minutes in, they get that goal, and it really leads to this 3-goal second half for them.
Monarchs' next match is on the road at Austin Bold. San Antonio has a home match next week. It's the Tacoma Defiance. 7:30 kick in San Antonio at Toyota Field, one of the beautiful parks in the USL Championship. Monarchs with 21 total shots.
And really, I think the bigger number there, Landon, is that they've had 9 of those 21 on target. When the team sits back like that, there's going to be a lot of shots, especially shots from distance. But the fact that the Monarchs have gotten that many shots on goal as well really kind of says how well that they've done against a team that sits back in a line of 5.
Herrera, cut off by Kyle Coffey. Coffey, right back to Cashier. He'll pick up his head. He plays it wide to Martinez. Martinez, a lot of space in front of him. He's going to jog himself to that corner flag. Let's see how long he can hold off the defense. Little help there from Yarrow. San Antonio is moving forward. Ryden's going to play it wide. And out for a throw-in. Opportunity for San Antonio to get numbers all the way forward.
Plenty of time in this game yet for San Antonio.
You're not hitting the panic button, but you're in the final minute unofficially of stoppage time. So you have to make some moves now. Ball in, big throw in, headed away by Plua. Hernandez able to keep it in. Ball still inside the box. Rising up is Green. Puts it up and over the crossbar.
He needs to get over that. needs to get over that and get it on target, especially at this point in the game.
We'll get a replay. Look at that cross coming in from Hernandez. It was just floated. Took a lot of time to get there. Wasn't able to get the power on it that he needed.
You know what? Noah Powder did a great job. He didn't win the header, but he made it hard on the San Antonio player. He made it hard on Kai Green so that he could not win that header and get it on target.
Monarchs trying to get their defense all together. Finney going to play the goal kick. Plays it forward. Martinez able to get this touch settled. Castillo there on a good job to steal it away. Maybe the final opportunity here coming for San Antonio FC. Brody's going to play it out for a corner kick here in the dying minutes at Zions Bank Stadium. Monarchs trying to see this one out. They've scored 3 second-half goals. Everybody forward except for Cardoni. 9 of 11 inside the box. Jocelyn going as Finney and Hernandez. Center referee's going to have a word there with Hernandez. Kua and Finney. Castillo's at the top of the box. Ball played in. And that's all she wrote here at Zions Bank Stadium. Monarchs gonna walk away with the full 3 points after 3 second-half goals and a wild one here at Zions Bank Stadium.
Tale of two halves tonight for the Monarchs. A little slow in the first half, but they got it together. They started the second half strong. They earned that penalty kick early, and they were able to get out of this game tonight with 3 points.
One of those games that just really you didn't know what was happening. The Monarchs got caught off guard in the first half. San Antonio came out with that back five, got 2 quick goals on their only 2 shots, and the game was on its head from that moment on.
And it was a little bit of a hangover for the Monarchs from last week against New Mexico.
It's full time here at Zions Bank Stadium. We'll take a final break and then be back with some final thoughts here as the Monarchs walk away with the full 3 points. America First Credit Union, ensuring the financial health of local families and businesses for 80 years. Tonight's match is presented by Steward Healthcare. Steward, world-class healthcare where you live. Visit steward.org. Mountain America, start preparing for your future today with Picture Perfect savings accounts from Mountain America. They offer term deposits, youth accounts, retirement savings, and more. Visit macu.com. For banking that always puts the best team on the pitch, Zions Bank is for you.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
For the past 42 years, and with over 28 million sold, more people have put their hard-earned money on a Ford F-Series truck than any other pickup in America. Yeah, I'd say that's money well spent. It's Ford Truck Month, America. Time to join the stampede.
Now get a Ford F-150 with 0 for 72 financing plus $1,000 trade assist cash, or get over $13,000 in total savings.
Monarchs with the huge second half to take all 3 points at home and remain perfect here at home in the 2019 season. David, that was a wild one. We've mentioned that. Crazy yellow cards, coach thrown out, 3 second half goals. Takeaways from that for the Monarchs, really battling back after giving up 2 goals. That's a tough task.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow start, a little bit of a hangover from the game against New Mexico last week. Not the start that they wanted, but we really saw what they were made of tonight. They dug themselves a little bit of a hole. They picked themselves up. They finished the first half strong. Then they started the second half off of that momentum, and they got that penalty kick early, and that really changed the second half for them.
If you're San Antonio FC, really the takeaway for you is you walk away disappointed. This should have been a minimum of 1 point. You felt like you had all 3, but you walk away with 1. Let's check out some upcoming games for the Monarchs in the upcoming schedule. As you see that on the board, Austin next week. And then the following week, back here at home against San Antonio FC, then again on the road at OKC, then back home against Phoenix. It's been kind of one of those back and forth every other here at home, but some exciting games coming up next week. You can catch that game on ESPN+. Then the following week, we'll be back on the broadcast. But David, final thoughts from this game. What do the Monarchs need to do moving forward to make sure they can keep this momentum?
They can't start games this slow. They dug themselves that early hole, but we saw what they were made of, and they got themselves out of it. But you can't start that slow. You have to start on the front foot from the very first whistle.
Monarchs take all 3 points, and there's no peeps about it for the Monarchs as they see the full 3 points with 3 second half goals and break the streak of San Antonio. But thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you joining us on this Saturday afternoon, Easter weekend, from our wonderful team that put on this production, David Horst, Landon South. We'll catch you in 2 weeks here at Zions Bank Stadium.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.